For the last few years, the internet told you that if you didn't automate your business with AI, you were going to be left in the dust. But here in 2026, the tech panic hype is hitting a massive wall, and companies that spent millions on software tools that promised infinite growth only to realize that AI generates a mountain of cheap noise but doesn't build deep client trust. The bubble is officially bursting and the doom scrollers are panicking. Look, I'm Brooke Plack. I'm a multi seven figure operator, been operating small businesses built from the trenches, from my garage in real time, in real life, long before AI, which is not new, by the way, ever came into be. We've had AI around since the phone operators said, press one if that is AI. But you know what? You don't have to jump on every single trend to be successful. Every software trend that is flashy can be a distraction, but it also can be beneficial. And it's because I use a tech stack audit that keeps us systemized and streamlined that I have been able to pare back my work schedule to 25 hours a week and lean heavily into the human premium. And today I'm going to break down the brutal reality of the AI slowdown and the exact operational systems you need to deploy right now in your business to profit from it. So stay until the very end because I'm going to reveal the intuition secret, the one asset class that software can never touch and how it can expand your profit margins this quarter. So let's look at the real data. And overinflated tech valuations are correcting themselves right now because consumers are hitting automation fatigue. All right. So in a world flooded with cheap automated junk, the market value of human connection and high end positioning is skyrocketing. Okay. So, how do you position your business to take advantage of this? Because the true question with AI is what is beneficial to my company? For example, in the childcare industry, a bunch of childcare facilities jumped on AI operated phone systems. Well, that may work when you're calling a doctor's office, but when you're calling someone about your baby, your precious infant child, you don't want to talk to a robot. You want to talk to a real person. So the question is, what is going to be beneficial in your company? Everything does not apply to everyone. So the first step from profiting from this AI bubble bursting is looking at your tech stack and cleaning out your tools, cleaning out your cabinet, just like you got the pantry and the kitchen, okay? It may be a messy web of AI subscriptions and software subscriptions that your team is barely touching, and that is automatically already draining your profit margins. I used to be subscribed to HubSpot and Salesforce and all of these things that promised they were going to do something great for my business. But if we weren't utilizing them correctly, it was just draining our profit. And so I've wasted so much money and want to save you from that. So the fix for this is to execute a ruthless audit. Strip your software down and only use the bare minimum. Only use exactly what your team needs to be successful. Profiting from the burst means that you are slashing the technology weight and immediately boosting your profit margins. All right. If you're ready to stop chasing the next flashy thing online, the next digital marketing agency, make more money from your laptop phase, make sure you're following the channel because we are only talking about things that are real, tried, true, tested, implemented that we're actually doing in our businesses right now that can make a difference. Step number 2 is the best. It is the human premium positioning. So it's something that I like, a strategy I like to teach on our leadership team called the zig and the zag. When your competitors zig, you zag. Do the exact opposite. So when your competitors are trying to automate client onboarding and their customer service with cheap bots that aren't working, do the exact opposite. Double down on those high touch client experiences. Sit in the lobby with your families. Have a customer call that people can log in and just do a Q&A just because. Give specialized delivery and deep human relationships. If you are positioning your business as the luxury human-led brand in your space, allows you to increase your prices while your competitors are fighting for a race to the bottom and trying to automate and not ever have to deal with people again. I don't care if you're selling a product, a service, a coaching business. We are all in the business of humans and human customer service. So you have to be very careful about what it is that you are choosing to try to automate right? To make sure that it's not the wrong thing in your business, like I mentioned with the childcare facility earlier. Step number 3 is going to be streamlining your workflows with clean, documented processes. So many people use software to mask broken processes. If you don't have clear processes on how this gets done before this that gets done, then no amount of technology that you have is going to work and you are wasting money. So if you can streamline those processes and before you throw an automation tool at it with video playbooks or Google Drive documents that are linked, you may be doing it for basic, basic computation tasks. There's my tongue twister for the video. Basic computation tasks for $10, right? Versus you trying to automate some big expensive AI system that's specific to your industry and going to solve all your problems all at one time. And it can free up your team to focus exclusively on those high value, like client focused outcomes. And if your operations are completely reactive, that is what we do here. We help other entrepreneurs and business owners who are already established. This is not for everyone. This is not for startups. The people that are already in the messy middle learn how to systematize what they're doing so they can multiply the revenue streams and still get your life back and not be working 40 hours a week. It is possible. But the final thing that you have to know that I talked about at the beginning of the episode is about your intuition, okay? And dropping the lazy badge. All right. The ultimate profit playbook in like this post AI hype market is you have to drop that like idea that the lazy automation badge and have the executive discipline to solve complex problems. Some people just think that like, I'm going to automate something, it's going to fix everything. And this is what happens if then. Like as a leader, there's a certain amount of intuition you have to have that truly leans into figuring out the root causes of issues going on in your business that AI can never touch. It ties back to that human premium. Human strategy is your primary asset. So when everyone is focusing on automation strategy, focus on the human piece. Look at your operational cadence. If you are constantly having to put out the same fires, you've got a system that's broken. You've got a system that needs to be addressed. If customers are always leaving unhappy from this event, figure out the system and why. Listen to the feedback and use your intuition. Lean into that human piece of who you are as a leader and don't let somebody automate that out of you because although software can calculate the data, it can do the thing. Only CEOs can do the thinking that leads to building a true legacy. And sequences can be optimized, but it will never synthesize human trust. So stop trying to turn your company into a completely automated faceless algorithm. That's not why you got into business. You got into business to solve someone's real painful problem and to like jump into the middle of it with them and help them get where they need to be and start building an elite operational system that will empower the humans in your business to scale your wealth, your productivity, and your promise.